Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of strength and wisdom, today I want to share with you 5 Stoic truths that will remind you of something powerful. You are enough, you are strong, and no one is better than you unless you give them permission to be. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius Seneca, Epictetus, taught us not to compare ourselves to others, but to rise above through discipline, inner strength, and self-respect. When you act as if you are the best, you do not compete with the world, you compete with your own limits. Let me give you 5 truths that will change how you see yourself and the life you live. The greatest victory you can ever win is the one over yourself, and this is what the Stoics believe to be the foundation of all true greatness. When you act as if you are the best, it does not mean dominating others or proving your superiority in the eyes of the world. Instead, it means standing firm in the face of your own weaknesses and impulses, mastering the storms within before you try to face the winds outside. Self-mastery is the highest achievement because no external power, no wealth, and no recognition can truly compare to the strength of a disciplined mind and a calm spirit. The one who controls themselves does not need to be controlled by anyone else. Think of how often people lose their peace simply because of anger, jealousy, or fear. They may be successful on the outside, but inside they are prisoners of their own emotions. A Stoic lives differently. Every day becomes an opportunity to choose patience over rage, resilience over despair, clarity over confusion. Each choice builds inner strength brick by brick until you become unshakable. The world cannot take away what you have built within yourself. And this is what it means to act like the best, because no external circumstance can rise above the fortress of your soul. When you master yourself, you gain freedom. You are no longer enslaved by opinions, no longer controlled by temptations, and no longer tossed around by the chaos of life. You stand steady, and people naturally look to you as a leader, not because you force them to follow, but because strength radiates silently from within. This is why the Stoics reminded us that true kingship is not over others, but over one's own heart and mind. You are already the best when you rise above your impulses and live with purpose. Comparison is one of the greatest thieves of joy and peace, and the Stoics understood this truth deeply. They taught that every human being has a unique path, a role designed specifically for them in the vast play of life. When you look too much at the lives of others, you begin to lose sight of your own journey. It is easy to believe that someone else is better, more successful, or more deserving, but this is only an illusion created by your perspective. No one is better than you because they cannot live your life and you cannot live theirs. To compare yourself with another is like comparing the sun with the moon. They both shine, but in different ways and at different times. Acting as if you are the best begins with refusing to measure your value through someone else's achievements or possessions. The Stoics advised us to focus on what lies within our control, and comparison is never within our control. What another person earns, achieves, or becomes is entirely theirs, not yours. When you shift your focus inward, you start to realize that greatness is not about being ahead of others, but about being aligned with your own purpose. Each day you move forward, no matter how small the step, you honor your journey, and that alone makes you strong. The danger of comparison is that it blinds you to your blessings and your potential. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you stop appreciating how far you have come. You begin to chase shadows rather than building substance. The Stoics remind us that peace and fulfillment come not from chasing others, but from becoming the best version of ourselves. Your worth is not up for debate, and it cannot be diminished by the success or failure of another person. When you stop comparing, you unlock freedom. You walk with confidence, knowing that you are not in competition with anyone. Your role is unique. Your journey is your own, and your value is unquestionable. Acting as if you are the best means understanding that no one can replace your presence in this world. You are already complete, and no comparison can ever take that away from you. Adversity is the greatest teacher life will ever place in your path, and the Stoics embraced this truth with courage. They believed that obstacles are not meant to destroy you, but to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than before. When hardships come, most people see them as punishments or reasons to give up, but the Stoic mindset sees them as opportunities. The struggles you face are not accidents. They are the fire that forges your character. You act as if you are the best when you face adversity head on and use it as fuel for growth rather than a reason for despair. Imagine a life without challenges. It would be comfortable, but it would also be empty. Just as steel is strengthened by fire, the human spirit is strengthened by trials. Every difficulty forces you to dig deeper into your inner resources, to develop patience, courage, resilience, and faith. These are qualities you cannot learn in comfort. They are only born in struggle. The Stoics knew this, and that is why Marcus Aurelius wrote that the obstacle is not in the way, it is the way. Every setback is secretly a lesson in disguise, preparing you for something greater than you imagined. When you change your perspective on adversity, you begin to see yourself as undefeatable. Problems no longer appear as enemies, but as trainers guiding you toward your highest self. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Try me." This shift in mindset allows you to stand tall where others collapse, to remain calm where others panic. That is true strength, the ability to remain steady when the storm rages. Adversity also humbles you. It reminds you that life is not always under your control, but your response always is. You cannot stop hardship from arriving, but you can decide whether it makes you bitter or better. By enduring with patience, you prove to yourself and the world that no external challenge can diminish your inner greatness. That is how you act as if you are the best, not because life is easy for you, but because you refuse to let it break you. Character is the true measure of a person's greatness, and the Stoics placed this truth above all else. They believed that wealth, power, and status may capture attention, but they do not define who you are. It is the invisible qualities, integrity, honesty, discipline, compassion, and honor that build an unshakable reputation and make you truly the best. To act as if no one is better than you is not about arrogance or ego, but about recognizing the worth of your inner character and living by principles that cannot be corrupted. When you stand firm in your values, you rise above every judgment, every doubt, and every temptation that tries to pull you down. The world often tries to measure greatness by external trophies, titles, possessions, followers, and applause. But these things are temporary, fragile, and beyond your control. One day they may be with you, the next day they may be gone. If your sense of worth is tied to them, then your confidence will rise and fall with circumstances. Character, however, is permanent. It is who you are when no one is watching. It is the voice that tells you to keep promises, to stay disciplined, to do what is right, even when it is hard. This is the foundation upon which real greatness is built, and this is why the Stoics considered character to be the highest achievement. When you live with strong character, you command respect without demanding it. People may not always agree with you, but they cannot deny the strength of your principles. They see the consistency in your actions, the steadiness in your words, and the honesty in your decisions. That silent power makes you unshakable because no criticism or praise can move a person who knows their values. Acting as if you are the best means walking with quiet confidence rooted in character. It is the courage to stay true to yourself when others compromise, the strength to remain honest when others deceive, and the discipline to do what is necessary when others seek shortcuts. In the end, character outlasts everything. Fame fades, wealth disappears, power shifts, but a noble character stands eternal. This is the kind of greatness no one can ever surpass. The present moment is the most powerful possession you will ever have, and the Stoics taught us to never underestimate it. Too often, people waste their strength living in the past or worrying about the future. They replay old mistakes, regrets, and losses, or they imagine future fears that may never come true. In doing so, they forget that the only time they truly have is now. To act as if you are the best is to embrace the present moment fully, to give your energy, your attention, and your heart to what is directly in front of you. Greatness is not achieved tomorrow, it is built today in the choices you make and the actions you take. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." These words are not meant to frighten, but to awaken. They remind us that life is short, unpredictable, and fragile. To delay living fully is to rob yourself of the only guarantee you possess, this moment. When you understand this, hesitation fades and urgency takes its place. You stop waiting for the perfect time to begin because you realize that the perfect time has always been now. When you commit yourself to the present, you unlock focus, energy, and clarity. Every moment becomes a chance to build, to improve, to grow, and to live with purpose. The distractions of yesterday and the worries of tomorrow lose their grip because you are rooted in what you can control right now. This is where strength is found. This is where confidence is born. Acting as if you are the best means walking into each day with intention and discipline, refusing to waste time in regret or fear. It is using the present moment to speak with honesty, to work with dedication, to love with sincerity, and to live with gratitude. The future will take care of itself if you honor today. The past cannot be changed. Today can be lived well. This truth is your greatest power. No one is better than you when you fully embrace the moment that is in your hands right now. Confidence is one of the most misunderstood qualities, often confused with arrogance. The Stoics made a clear distinction between the two, and this distinction is the key to acting as if you are the best without falling into pride. Confidence is rooted in self-respect, discipline, and clarity of purpose, while arrogance is rooted in insecurity and the need for validation. To act as if no one is better than you does not mean looking down on others. It means walking with certainty in your own worth, knowing that you are enough and that your presence carries value. This kind of confidence is unshakable because it is not based on comparisons or approval, but on self-mastery and character. When you cultivate this inner confidence, you no longer feel threatened by the success of others. You can celebrate their victories without questioning your own. You do not need to prove yourself through competition, because your worth is not dependent on anyone else's outcome. Arrogance seeks to push others down to stand taller, but true confidence lifts you up without diminishing anyone around you. This is what makes it so powerful. It inspires respect rather than resentment, admiration rather than resistance. The Stoics believed that living in harmony with virtue creates the foundation for this quiet confidence. When your actions align with your values, when your words reflect truth, and when your decisions show discipline, you naturally begin to trust yourself. That trust becomes confidence, and it shows in how you walk, how you speak, and how you face challenges. Others can sense it because it does not need to be shouted. It radiates silently. Acting as if you are the best is about carrying yourself with dignity. It is the calm assurance that you are living with purpose, that you are not defined by external judgments, and that you have nothing to prove. It is not loud or boastful, but steady and unshakable. This is the kind of presence that commands respect without demanding it. When you embody confidence without arrogance, you become unstoppable, because you are not fighting for approval. You are already complete. No one is better than you. When you walk this way,